Good morning and welcome to Fat Cow Farm. Now this morning what I wanted to do was show you a concept trailer that we've designed, and this is a all-terrain trailer, and this is designed to go back behind a side-by-side four-wheel drive buggy, tractor, car, whatever it may be. But the history behind this is that we're going to start milling a lot of the dead material and logs up at our forest section here at Fat Cow Farm. And we'd taken the tractor up there to start extracting, and it was just too full on. I couldn't believe it. Like, I couldn't maneuver the tractor. Nothing was going to work. So we needed something to use as like a dolly so that we could load logs onto a dolly and then take them out to an area where we're going to start milling. Now, as that concept grew, it then evolved into what else do we want to sort of do around the farm? Now, we want to be able to, take logs out of the forest, one. Two, we want to be able to collect firewood and have it split and things like that. So that's number two. Three, we want to be able to transfer materials very easily around the farm, but also then having something that we can then lift and tilt, so it makes it easier, because at the moment we've just got standard trailers and we're constantly having to shovel material out, or firewood we have to take out. We just can't dump and run. So this is where this concept has come through, and I wanted to show you this morning because I'm struggling with the idea being is that none of these available really on the Australian market as a part of multi-purpose units that you can then sort of take to your farm and then off you go. Now, in America and Europe, these guys are everywhere, but getting them into Australia with freight and I think, a few other bits and pieces like that, they become too costly to even entertain those sort of ideas. So we went through the idea of actually then contacting a guy in Melbourne called Fabrications, and I'll give you all these details later. But with the ideas and plans that we had, we gave them to Shane, and we said, look, Shane, this is what we really want to design. These are the ideas that we've come up with. This is the purpose of what we want a trailer or dolly to do. And that that process took about 4 to 6 months. And this is the end result. And I am absolutely stoked with what we've ended up with. So, from a concept written on paper, planning, and then actually going through the process of actually getting it made. Wow, absolutely awesome. So, I'm going to run through some ideas with you. So I'll catch you soon. All right, so here we are looking at the trailer in length. And because this is a multi-purpose, as we were discussing before, we needed the option to run long logs through the tub of the trailer. So what we've done is we've then placed these ends in to make it a trailer, so to speak, so that we can contain stuff, but have the option to remove them. So these just simply slide in and out, so it makes life super easy. We've got the front here, we've got the rear, like so. And now what we can now do is then run some decent lengths of logs. Now, the idea being is that I wanted to have the option of when we're starting to mill our timber, running some 6 metre lengths. And so that was one of our prime objectives, is to get the trailer long enough so that we can run a 6 metre log. Now, in doing that, so what we've needed to do is we've put a telescopic tow hitch on this, and I'll show you that a little bit later. But coming back to the tub itself, what we've got here is 2.4 and 1200 wide. Now, we've got some raised sides here, and that was a part of the design because of the wheels. We've got a walking axle, and I'll show you how that works again a little bit later. But having the idea of then running some logs through, taking off the ends, placing the logs in place with the tractor, and then taking them to the area that we're going to mill them. You know, that's really what it's all about. So what am I trying to say here? So basically the situation being is that, you know, even if we wanted to bring this back to a standard trailer, we have, and this is full of firewood or something of the sort. So imagine that we've loaded this all up with firewood, and I've got a clip on the other side. So what I can do here is just release, and I've got these handles. I can lift the whole tub up and everything's just going to fall straight out. I mean, this is really what, you know, when designing your own sort of stuff, is that, you know, you can really mix and choose to get everything that you want down together. Now, if we found that, I don't know, there was material in here and still, so we've put I've put like a winch strap on here, and that just locks on like so, and then you can just wind that down. And now that we've got the, I can then hook the trailer back up like so, and I've got one on the other side here. Now that's all ready for us to then start towing again. So, but what I wanted to do now was just show you the extendable tow hitch. And the other concept being, and you know, a few of you are going to say, well, if you've got logs, what are you going to do about this winch? So again, what we've got is that this just comes out, and I've got some pins, just like so, and that's now removable, so that we then have no interference at all coming through the center of the trailer. And like I said, that was only there if we were really struggling to pull down the tipper itself. But yeah, so look, I think that, you know, with a few little concepts, making life really, really easy, and like I said, designing something yourself, it just makes life so much easier, because you can add or subtract, or, oh, I'm interested in that sort of concept, and then you can go from there. So I'll move the camera and I'll show you this extendable tow hitch. So I'll see you soon. All right, so here we are with the extension of the trailer in place. Now, what we're looking at here is 1500. So that's our extension, and we've gone on the principles of having basically a third exposed and a 2/3 in the actual chassis of the trailer. Now, to bring the trailer closer, because you've got those areas where you want to maneuver around tight angles, or, you know, your track's not so wide, or whatever it may be, then what we have is we can then bring the trailer. Now, this would be a lot easier with two people. Just bear with me. All right. Now, we put those safety pins back in. Alright, so that's all nice and secure now, and what we're dealing with now is 900. So we've brought that in quite a substantial bit, and now that we've got that, we'll be able to tow behind the tow vehicle a lot tighter. You know, you might be on different tracks or whatever it may be, but at least that way it's nice and tight and secure for you. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is we'll realign the camera, and I'll show you how to open up this tray, and we can get it on a side elevation, and we'll go from there. So I'll see you soon. So here we are, and what I want to do is show you the lifting capabilities of the tub. Now, what we thought was that as through some preliminary sort of engineering, what we've worked out is that this has got to have around about a 2-ton carry capacity inside the trailer. Now, as a part of lifting, you know, like lifting 2 ton is going to be quite hard. But what we found is we found some gas struts, and we've got those lined up underneath the chassis rail. And that gives us around, I think it worked out the calculations around about 1700. So even if it was fully loaded, you would have to give it a little bit of a help to unload your cargo or whatever it may be. But simply what we do is we just undo the clips on the side. Like so. And then using the lifting handles, you can see how easy it is. And then obviously everything's just going to come straight fall out the back. You can drive forward, give it a little bit of a touch up, and then go from there. So we've got the 3 gas struts in there. Like I said before, we're looking at around about 1700. Now, depending on how well, you know, you might have someone else using the trailer or whatever it may be, and then trying to lift it down. Now, I don't have a problem lifting it back down. You know, that's quite easy to work with those gas struts. But the idea being is that we have the tow hitch at the front, or the winch strap, that can hook onto the D-ring that we've got here at the front of the trailer and assist you to bring that down. So we'll just bring that down naturally now, like so, and we're done. We put up our clips back on. And you're all ready now for towing again. All right, so what I want to do now is I'll go find a log or something, and I'll show you how this walking axle works. Because if you are in the bush, you're going to find you're getting yourself across a lot of logs or whatever it may be. And the way that we've designed this is that these wheels will pivot basically on a single axle over a rock or whatever it may be. And so you're not going to lose traction and make the tow vehicle really work to get over something. And that was the one of the priorities that we had, is that, you know, we've got our little side-by-side, and I didn't want to put that under too much stress. And because we've sort of calculated the load capacities off our unit, which is the C-Force 1000, you know, we have a tow capacity there of just over 2 ton. So I didn't want to really put the extra load on the side-by-side. So this is where this design has come from as well. And we'll go from there. So let me find a few bits and pieces, and we'll go backwards and forwards, and I can show you how that works walking over that. So I'll see you soon. All right, so here we are. What I've done is we've just put a couple of rocks down just to show you the pivoting action of the walking axle. And you can see how we've got a weight transfer coming up high on this tyre here, and we're still 100% grounded on this one here. Now obviously at the back, we're going to be, both tyres are flat on the ground. It just gives you an idea of how these working or walking axles actually work. And they're almost a must. Now, because of the area and the terrain that we're dealing with up in the natural forest, we do have a lot of logs and things like that over paths and whatever it may be. So if we were to have a standard axle where it's all fixed, there's going to be a lot of tension hitting that front tyre before you, and a lot of effort put onto your tow vehicle to get over that log or rock or whatever it may be. With a walking axle, you can see that there's movement and freedom in the axle to pivot going backwards and forwards. And so it reduces a lot of that stress on that tow vehicle. Now what I'll do is I'll jump into the side-by-side now, and I'll go over this a couple of times, and I'll show you how they sort of float over those sort of obstacles. So let me start that up. I'll come and find you, and I'll see you soon. right, so as you can see, that with the trailer going backwards and forwards, and it's purely just as a demonstration, that you're always going to have at least, you know, 3 points of contact on the ground, and you're also going to have a positive pressure on the item that you're going over. So as a part of stability, and if you are carrying loads or, you know, logs or whatever it may be, you want to try and keep the actual bed of the trailer as flat as you possibly can. And these walking axles achieve that. So, you know, absolutely fantastic. Now I'm just going to show you a few other little features that we've added on, and then I'll come and find you and we can go from there. I'll see you soon. All right, now as a part of the actual trailer hookup to your tow vehicle, what I decided to do was use a Treg poly hitch rather than just a standard tow ball. Now what a Trig hitch does is it allows you to basically pivot up and down. So if you're going up like a divot or a valley or a causeway or something like that, the whole trailer can sort of bend and float with the terrain as a pivot at this point here on the trailer. And then also what we have is this pin here enables it to go side by side. So you're actually going to get, it's a 360-degree movement, and which I find, and I've been using these for years on trailers, and you know, it was an absolute no-brainer to put it onto the tow vehicle here and also onto this little guy. But you know, what happens here is that in an emergency or whatever it may be, should the trailer become unresponsive, or if you're going downhill and it is to flip, then basically it will enable the trailer to do that, and you're not going to damage the tow vehicle itself. But like I was saying, like it will allow it to do it because of how much flexibility you've got in the trailer itself or in this tow hitch. But it's the last resort, and that's why this incorporated with the walking axle is really one of the most important things, and especially in rough terrain. So you know, that's just another little feature that we have here, and I'll show you out the back. Oh look, while I'm here, I'm hoping that you can pick this up. We've just got a standard jockey wheel. Just like so. And that just enables you to maneuver once you've got yourself all set up at wherever the trailer is going to live. You can drop it off without having to lift it constantly to put it onto the back of the tow vehicle. All right, I'm going to take you down the back now, and I want to show you a little feature down there. So I'll see you soon. All right, so here we are at the back of the trailer, and this is another tow hitch setup, so that we can then put in a bracket of a tow ball or a Trig hitch or something of the sort. A pin will just run through there. Now the thought process being is if we need to go to a log or a tree that's fallen down and ready to split, I'm going to put the log splitter on the back of this, like so, and we would go up to wherever that had fallen, like a big train, sort of like a choo-choo, and then that way we can then set up the splitter, and then I can go backwards and forwards with the trailer full of timber for the stove, and we can go from there. So look, you might even use it as another tow point to reverse, or if you need to pull the trailer out. Look, it's a nice to have. And so as a part of your own custom designing and things like that, you know, the guys down at Marvel have just been absolutely, you know, just fantastic about the way that, you know, we've presented ideas and things like that. And with their expertise, they've sort of said, look, you know, you really can't do that, but you can do this, but that will still give you your same objective. And absolutely fantastic. So what I'm going to do is I've got a little thing here with all the contact details for Shane, and look, you know, give him a call, and if this is something that you want to do, you know, this is what our website or our YouTube is really all about. Like we are first-time farmers, and I suppose what I'm finding the hardest thing to deal with is that there's not things out there that I thought there would be. So hence this is why we have to start manufacturing. But look, you know, I'm here to share, and hopefully that some of you who are first-time farmers or, you know, generational farmers that can use something like this, you know, give Shane a call, and I'm sure he'll be able to help you out. So I'll go get that plaque, I'll come and find you, and I'll see you soon. All right, so I've got the plaque here. Now, that's all Shane's contact details. Now, I just want to sort of reiterate that this is not a paid sponsorship program or anything like this. I just thought that Shane's work was absolutely fantastic, and I said to him that, you know, we do have a YouTube channel, and we would sort of help him out a little bit. So this is all that is, and I just want to make that clear that there's no correspondence or anything like, there's no payments or anything like that made. It's just that we feel that there was a need for a trailer like this, and want to really sort of go out there and say to the rest of the farming community who are first-time farmers like us, we certainly found a need. So, you know, that's Marvel Fabrication, and look, give the guys a call, give Shane a call, and then hopefully you can sort it out. Now, just as another point too, what we did, we've got a standard 8x5 trailer. Now, what we did is we actually made the width of the tyres to fit inside that 8x5, purely just for transport, because it's not registered or anything like that. It's just going to be farm use. You know, and then so we are down, so we had to go down and pick that up, and then bring it back to the farm. So, you know, you've got to think about transport as well, and costs. So there's a few things there. So we made it so it fitted into the 8x5 trailer. But look, you know, like and subscribe. And if you have any comments, more than happy to sort of shoot them across, and you know, give Shane's details a little bit closer. And we'll do that on the website or on the bottom of the YouTube. And we can go from there. So like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.